Who will be the least watchable team in the NFL next season? This is the Dan Patrick Show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, conversation for today. Now, I think this is kind of interesting because the NFL does a really good job of making every team relatively watchable. There's usually only a few teams that are completely hopeless or there's no watchability at all. And when you look around the NFL, it's kind of the same this year, right? Where even the worst teams in the league, Titans, Browns, Saints, there's still reason to watch. And there's still things to be excited about and interesting narratives and whatnot. Teams that I think are unwatchable are teams that are just staying in place, right? Like teams that, like the Steelers, like Mason Rudolph, if he's their quarterback, and you know, like what really are you watching? If the Browns end up going with like Kenny Pickett at quarterback, what really are you watching? You know, like you're just kind of waiting for something exciting. Whereas the Titans, like they have Cam Ward, you get to watch first overall pick. You know, if the Browns start Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders, you get to watch a rookie quarterback, Shador especially, very exciting to watch. The Jaguars have Travis Hunter. How are they going to utilize him? The Saints, Kellen Moore, brand spanking new head coach. You got Tyler Shucker, Spencer Rattler. You know, there's some interest there. Even teams like the Panthers, you know, Bryce Young, what's his development look like? But a team like the Steelers, where it's same old coach, same old team, no name playmakers, journeyman, backup, whatever, quarterback, like you kind of know what direction they're going. The Jets, depends on how you feel about Justin Fields, but the Jets could be a kind of boring team. But still, you know, Garrett Wilson, they've got Breece Hall, they've got Justin Fields. If Fields turns a corner, he is kind of a dynamic player. So this year, leading into the season, there really isn't there aren't very many teams that I would call truly unwatchable.
What's the poll question today?
Well, we might as well stick with the NFL then. Currently the least watchable team in the NFL is...
Dang.
In May.
Dang. Skewing negative.
Yeah, let's just...
5 minutes in.
Let's just jump right off the negativity cliff.
By the way, 877-3DP show operator Tyler's sitting by. He'll take your phone calls. Best and worst of the weekend. What you saw that you liked, you didn't like. Okay.
There are many teams that you could throw on there.
See, I don't think, but the good thing about the NFL, and this is kind of just inherently, teams can't tank. Teams can't just throw in the towel. So, and the way that the league is set up, even the bad teams do get, even if it's false hope, they do get hope with high draft picks or whatever. So, very rarely is a team just like, okay, turn this garbage off. You know, this is absolutely horrific. It usually is when there's an injury or something where all of a sudden Curtis Painter is the starting quarterback, you know, or someone like that, where it's like, all right, I mean, I know this is just nothing. This is a backup. We're looking at, you know, because of injuries, I'm watching, you know, Easton Stick play. Like those situations, okay, I get that. But at this point, I don't see.
I'll just rattle off a few.
All right,
and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
These are currently least watchable type teams to me. Okay. Anyway, right?
All right.
Titans, Browns, Saints, Patriots, Steelers, Giants, Jets.
How in the world can you have, like, how can you have Titans and Patriots on there? The Patriots have Mike Vrabel, brand new identity, brand new, you know, all this newness. They've got Drake May taking a step forward. They just went and got Stephon Diggs. Like, is that team going to move or move forward? Not literally move, but what's Drake May going to look like another year under his belt? Like, he could be the franchise guy. Vrabel's instilling this Patriot culture. I mean, how are and then like I said with the Titans, you have the first overall pick in the draft, a quarterback, Cam Ward. What can he do? Now, how are the Titans on there? You know, I don't think bad is necessarily synonymous with unwatchable.
Okay.
I could hear the Giants because Russell Wilson is a retread, you know, but still, like Russell Wilson, Malik Neighbors, like there's stuff there. I mean, Abdul Carter, like see what they can do on the defensive line. The defense should be all right. Well, the defensive line should be all right. Like, even that, it's like, all right, I'm willing to see Russ spin the pill with Malik. Like, I'm okay with that. The Colts are one where, you know, if Danny Dimes is below average and Anthony Richardson's not on the field, then the Colts could be boring, but, you know.
Sometimes you want to watch a team because you know it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a car crash.
They were like, rarely do they start fist fighting on the sideline where you're like, yes, this is really what you're just watching is crappy teams play.
Yeah. Yes, Marvin.
We're missing the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Colts are kind
You're
of
not all in on the Anthony Richardson, Danny Dimes quarterback?
I think Daniel Jones will end up being the starter. And I think Steichen could get a lot out of Danny Dimes. I think Steichen could figure him out. So if he is the starter, I will be interested to see what that looks like. But if it's same old Danny Dimes, then,
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Well, the Titans, at least, they have Cam Ward.
Yeah.
So I would say if I'm factoring that in, then the Titans will be interesting-ish.
Okay.
I mean, the Browns are going to be interesting. I think how the Browns are covered will be interesting. I don't know how good they're going to be on the field, but I think...
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be good at all. But if Shedeur Sanders is a starting quarterback, it'll be must-watch TV to see how he's playing and see if everyone was wrong that let him slide in the draft. If Dylan Gabriel plays, it's like, all right, let's see what anytime a rookie quarterback's playing, it's interesting. If Kenny Pickett plays, Joe Flacco plays, not interesting.
I think how the Browns are covered by the national and local media will be really interesting.
Possibility for a lot of midweek drama with that team.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of Wednesday storylines, it feels like, with the Browns this year.
Probably so.
Great.
Probably
That's
so.
fun.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take both of those off the list.
Okay.
Great. I have put the Saints on there. I don't feel like the Saints are super interesting right now. They're not very watchable.
No.
I mean, I'm biased, live in New Orleans, but there is something, and maybe it's just because I like offense and I like the offensive-minded coaches and the quarterback play and all that stuff, but I think there is something interesting about Kellen Moore being a head coach for the first time, coming off of a Super Bowl win. Depends on how you feel about Tyler Shuck, I guess. I can see where Tyler Shuck's kind of a boring name, but again, you have a rookie quarterback, a total unknown. How's he going to look? What's he going to do in the league? There's something about a rookie quarterback that, at least for the first few weeks, is exciting. Now if he turns into Aiden O'Connell, yeah, it's not very exciting. If the Saints are putting up 13 points a game, yeah, not very exciting. But there's enough firepower on the Saints offense with Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave and enough there, and the defense is. I could understand if someone nationally did not want to watch the Saints. I could understand that, but I think you got to give every rookie quarterback like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, see how they play, see the style, see all that before you can truly say like they're unwatchable.
No.
All right. How about the Patriots? They're building something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got an offensive lineman in the draft.
Hot.
Okay.
Hot.
I think they're moving in the right direction. They have
Drake May's kind of a fun quarterback to watch too. Like the way he plays is kind of fun.
a proven coach. Drake May played really well.
Certain curiosity there. Maybe take a peek, but it's not super watchable right now.
No.
How about the Steelers?
Horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're watching there. So
Yeah, as of right now, until Aaron Rodgers shows up, they got to be the least watchable. Because there is no intrigue in the quarterback position. There's really no intrigue in the wide receivers. You have DK and a bunch of nobodies. The running back, you have Jalen Warren and a rookie. Not so much there. Pat Freiermuth might be the most Steeler tight end ever.
maybe that's why they're not watchable. What are we going to watch? What are we going to see?
T.J. Watt coming after your quarterback all day.
How about the New York Football Giants?
Yeah.
Are you interested in watching them?
Yeah, because if I got Russ there cooking, Jameis over there on the sidelines.
Oh, my God, dude.
Eating lead paint chips.
I can't with that dude, man. I just can't with Jameis.
Yes, Todd.
How much time do you want to spend watching the Arizona Cardinals play?
Cardinals are a good one. They kind of slipped my mind too, but I mean Marvin Harrison Jr. Now he had a horrific rookie year. Trust me, I had him on my fantasy team, but God, horrible year. My fantasy season, I don't even know how I finished as high as I finished, and I don't think I made the playoffs. My first two picks: Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. My third pick, Josh Allen. No, my third pick was DJ Moore, and my fourth pick was Josh Allen. So my first three picks were completely unusable. Horrible. Absolutely terrible. I drafted Brian Thomas Jr. late. I traded Brian Thomas Jr. for, what's his name, Jordan Morris, the backup running back for San Francisco, when Christian McCaffrey goes down, just so I could have a running back. Boom, he gets hurt. So drafted Thomas, trade him, guy I trade for, he doesn't play ever again. I mean, the team was just despicable.
I was just looking at that draft pick. Nothing against Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss and Will Johnson out of Michigan and Jordan Burke.
But yeah, I mean, but to go back to Arizona, yeah, not much there. Depends on how you feel about Kyler Murray, but yeah, Arizona would be a sneaky, unwatchable team.
Out of Oregon, but I just don't know what there's.
I think they had a good draft. They just didn't take anybody in the skill positions. Yeah. So therefore, it's weird how we look at a draft and we go, I don't know, we got a defensive lineman and we got a defensive back. Then you look at that team 2 years later and you go, damn, we got those guys in the draft. I mean, look at the Eagles, how they built their team. They weren't, you had to do it from inside out with their offensive and defensive line. And I think that we tend to look at the draft or draft picks with our teams and go, I don't know who he is. I don't know. But, a lot of times they turn out to be really, really good. I thought Marvin Harrison Jr. the third was going to be unbelievable last year.
Same.
This year he gets 100 catches. I think
that is always how it works out in fantasy for me. There's certain guys where it's like, I'll have them. He's horrible. I don't draft him. He's incredible. Right now I'm going through it in fantasy baseball. Willie Adames from the Giants. I had him 2 years ago with the Brewers. He was terrible. Last year he hits like 40 bombs, and now I have him now. He's terrible. So there's Ozzie Albies with the Braves. I always have him on the year where he gets hurt. Like he gets hurt every other year. That's how it works. There's always players like that. And I guarantee you Marvin Harrison Jr. will be that this year. Guarantee you. He will be insane. He'll be absolutely nuts. It's happened before with betting, too. I bet on Jaren Jackson Jr. to win the Defensive Player of the Year. He was like 45-1. I think he got second. And then the following year, he wins it.
Now he proves himself. They got a great tight end who never scores touchdowns, but McBride, he's good, fun, he got paid. And then you got my friend Kyler Murray. So I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably I don't go.
Kyler is a weird player because you think of him as this like big arm, fun player, but he does not throw the ball downfield very much. Like, he is a dink and dunk, and maybe it's the offense, but he's a unique player because he seems like he'd be fun to watch, but he's really kind of not.
Well, out of my way to watch the Cardinals. Who else is on that, Seton?
Yeah.
Let's see. We could go with the Broncos. Are you interested in watching the Broncos?
Yeah. I mean, Broncos are the best defense in the NFL. You got the best defense in the NFL. You got Bo Nix, Sean Payton. Yeah, that team's a lot of fun. The Raiders are going to be a ton of fun to watch this year. I mean, what's going on here, guys?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
The Jets. I'm mildly interested because I want to see what Aaron Glenn does.
You did.
But Aaron Glenn has the makings of like a boring defensive head coach. But I would put the Jets, Cardinals, Steelers, Colts would be my top ones. I can't say the Saints because obviously, they're the team I want to watch the most.
Do?
Yeah, mildly. Mildly. But I do like watching Justin Fields. I am entertained by him. I keep thinking he is a legitimate starter in the NFL, and maybe I'm starting to lose that contest. But yeah, I'm mildly interested in the Jets. I mean, for the most part, all these teams have some hope because we see this every year where you go from worst to first in your division. It happens a lot.
Happens every year. Teams go worst to first. And like I said, the NFL is not like other sports, like baseball. Like right now, the Rockies are unwatchable. They're horrible. They're not even a major league team. NFL teams don't do that. They don't just have like outright all right, this roster is not even an NFL roster. This is a tank. This is horrible. Like that does not happen. At least not on purpose. Like I said, injuries come into play, and all of a sudden you have like a fourth-string quarterback playing that's barely even holding on, but very rarely in the NFL.
Because
Certainly not
the schedule is catered to you if you weren't good the previous year.
Right.
And you look at some of these teams, you look at their schedules, I mean, it's going to be a real challenge for the Eagles. They play a couple of tough games on the road.
It's always hard, too. Like, the Eagles, especially early on, you got a brand-new offensive play caller, you got brand new, like, all that stuff's new. You lose Kellen Moore, you lose some continuity there. Coming off a Super Bowl hangover, so I like Dallas +7 in week 1. Tell you that much right now.
But they open up with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great season. Like, this NFL season is shaping up. It's been kind of a perfect storm where we've had back-to-back years where, like, whatever it was, 6 quarterbacks were taken in the first round last year. So 6 teams immediately said, okay, we got a franchise quarterback. Even if it doesn't work out, they think they do, right? Then this year, you have the teams who missed out last year, boom, they get their guys. All right, like the Titans, like kind of the Browns, right? The Giants, the Saints. Like, okay, I see what's going on here. So there's not really a team that's just hopeless. The only team that is really just kind of sitting on their hands are the Steelers. But if they get Aaron Rodgers, all of a sudden they're fun to watch. Like even the Colts. The Colts have Anthony Richardson, who they took in the top 10 picks. It wasn't that long ago, people were like, this guy could be the MVP. So if you're a Colts fan, you're still thinking, we got to see what we have in Richardson. All right, the Broncos with Bo Nix, like the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, you got paid $250 million. All right, Travis Hunter's there. So even those, right now is a unique time in the NFL where, I mean, look at the Raiders. The Raiders, for the last couple of years, have toiled with Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell. There's kind of some really mediocre quarterback play. Boom, now Geno's there. Not only is Geno there, Ashton Genty's there. Like not only are they there, Brock Bowers is there. Just like that. The Raiders have like one of the most fun offenses in the NFL on paper. With Geno, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Jacoby Myers. Like, okay, I'll watch that. Same thing with the Patriots. Patriots, boom, Drake May, he's there. Diggs is there. All right, Houston. You got the C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell situation. Like, every team is pretty much on some kind of a track of watching their franchise quarterback or a rookie guy, or there's some kind of intrigue. I remember it was right after Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, right after they kind of ended. It was horrible quarterback play across the board. Horrible. Everywhere you looked was just bad. And because there was so much quarterback turnover. But now it's kind of fixed itself, and it's kind of it's kind of shaking itself out to where everyone's kind of in a decent place. So I think this will be a really fun NFL season. I mean, I cannot wait to watch. I mean, you even look at the 49ers. Like the 49ers were bad last year, 6 wins, whatever. But they're still the 49ers. Like, they're still fun to watch. They still have good players. Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy just got paid. You look at a team like the Vikings, right? Justin Jefferson. What is J.J. McCarthy going to do? It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. So I'm thrilled. I can't wait. But let me know in the comments below who you think are the least watchable teams in the NFL. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next